Today on the podcast, we're talking about Base44, a 6-month-old company who just sold to Wix for $80 million cash. So in 6 months, they created $80 million of value. We're going to talk about what they did to do that and how maybe you could start doing that yourself. So before we do that, Jaeden, why don't you talk about our school community?
Yeah, so every single week, we sit down and we create an exclusive piece of content that we post over on our school community. It's $19 a month. In the past, we've had this at $100 a month, but it is currently at a discount. So you can get it for only $19 a month. You can lock in the price. And when we raise it in the future, it won't ever be raised on you. Essentially, what we're doing is anyone that is looking to grow and scale their business or their career with AI tools, Jamie and I break down all of the tools, workflows, prompts, revenue, week by week that we are making and using, all of the AI tools, all of the hacks, all of the stuff we can't publish publicly anywhere else. We put it into this. So it's an incredible community, over 300 people. You can ask questions, people share their projects, and they share how much money they're making. It's very transparent, very cool. We would love to have you as a member of it. I learn a ton from it, and Jamie and I share stuff there that we don't publish anywhere else. So if you want all of the insider hacks on how we actually do what we talk about on this show, this would be the place to go find that out. So we'll leave a link in the description. AI Hustle School Community. All right, let's get into what is going on with this company that has just sold for $80 million. This is one that, like, once I saw, I was like, Jamie, we have to cover this. They sold to Wix. This is called Base44, and it is a vibe coding startup. So vibe coding, right? You're essentially sitting there. You have a code panel in front of you. It's for people that aren't traditional coders per se. Maybe you're kind of getting into it. You watch a couple of YouTube tutorials, but you essentially sit down when you're vibe coding. And you're like, hey, I want to build a calculator that also can calculate this specific type of product that I'm using, whatever. If you have some sort of idea, if you've always wanted to create an app or a software, you pretty much can do it with one of these vibe coding platforms. There's a whole bunch of really cool ones. I'm building some version of this with AI Box, but there's a bunch of other really cool ones like Lovable. And of course, you have now Base44, a bunch of other cool players where you can kind of build these tools by vibe coding. Now, what blew my mind with this is this company started 6 months ago. And I think the concept is really cool, that something you're building today, maybe you have an idea, maybe you're vibe coding something today, or you have an idea for some sort of software that you want to start messing around with. In 6 months, you theoretically could sell that for $80 million to some big player if it catches on, if it gets users, if you build something cool that's useful. So anyways, I thought that was really cool. This is after, I think, a whole bunch of people have been talking about, I believe it was like Sam Altman like a couple of years ago, and they were talking about how there's going to be these solo unicorns. It's going to be one person company and it's worth over $1 billion, and one person just kind of vibe codes and puts it together. And I feel like we're getting closer and closer to that. Like, no doubt they were able to build this whole company using AI to code, and it helps other people use AI to code, and then they're able to sell it for so much money. So I think that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I guess, Jamie, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a crazy story. Again, this guy he's 31 years old, the guy who started this. So a young guy, and he had an idea, maybe a pain point, or maybe he had the exit in idea in his mind from the start, where he's like, okay, a website builder could use a feature, use vibe coding if you want to add specific like widgets to their website, or chat bots or whatever. It's going to be nice for people who aren't good at coding to be able to describe what they want and then have AI create it for them. Specifically, Wix is like a no code website builder. Same with like a Squarespace type company. So there's kind of like a need, and he fulfilled it. And it looks like it must be a pretty solid product, because they currently are at 250,000 users, and they hit 10,000 users within their first 3 weeks. So that's really impressive. I don't know how he got the word out and got so many, customers, but they're, a profitable company within 6 months, a profitable tech company within 6 months, which is really impressive. So the report is that in May, they had $189,000 in profit after covering the high LLM token costs. So, I mean, this guy, he's killing it.
Yeah, this is really cool. So this is a thing that I love that he's done and that we always recommend people, and that is to build in public. Some people are like, oh, well, I don't want to talk publicly about what I'm building in case someone tries to steal my idea. Like, in my opinion, if that's truly your position, you might be toast already because, you got to have confidence so you can execute and you can execute fast. That's my personal opinion on it. But essentially what he did was, as he built this, as he was going about his journey, he was publicly posting and publicly talking about this. And I think that that's really the way to build. That's kind of why I talk so much about AI Box on these podcasts, trying to give people, insights about what we're doing and what we're building. That's why Jamie talks so much about his real estate career and kind of what he's doing with his YouTube and leveraging AI to grow that. And there, a lot of that is over on our AI Hustle School community. We recorded a whole video about some of the inside AI tools and tips that he's doing this week. But that's kind of the concept. And so I think this is one of the big takeaways from this episode is, if you are doing something, there's a ton of value in talking about it publicly, building in public, sharing some of your successes, what's going on, because that's essentially how you can organically grow tons of new users. And that's how he was able to get his first 250,000 users that ultimately led to this, which I think is pretty impressive. In May, his profit was 189,000. And that is basically the number that was used for an $80 million sale, which is really impressive. Now, what I will say about that $80 million sale, 25 million of that was a quote unquote retention bonus. So he had 8 employees that he used for this, or that helped him build this. And the $25 million is going to essentially be spread out around the employees and himself. And as long as they can stay on, and usually there's like a 4-year cliff. So if they keep working at Wix for the next 4 years, then they all get that 25 million, which, I mean, 25 million, I don't know how it gets cut up. I don't know who's got what percent equity or whatever, but 25 million between 8 people, there's plenty of money to go
Pretty
around. And I
solid.
think they'll be pretty
Yeah.
incentivized to stick around for the next 4 years to try to vest that out.
Oh, totally. Totally. That's funny.
And I think the other cool thing is, he said, like, so basically this is mostly just a word of mouth. I don't think he did any ads or anything like that. And it was literally
Wow.
just from him talking on LinkedIn and Twitter, which is it's impressive. LinkedIn and Twitter drove 250,000 users and an $80 million sale.
Social media, man, that's where it's at. I mean, I think the marketing of it and sharing, like you said, sharing your journey is just as important as how good the product is. So that's an amazing testament to what we always talk about, either here or in the school community, about you need to be, if you have a business, you need to be making content about it. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah, super, super impressive. One thing I will mention on this, because I know a bunch of people, if you know the background on this company, you might be shouting at me like, "Oh, this isn't some random guy that started posting." He is, he does have a background in tech. His previous startup was backed by Insight Partners, a top VC firm. It's a data analytics company called Explorium. He's also the co-founder of an AI security startup called Token Security, which just raised $20 million. So he's got a couple different things at play here. But this was really impressive, something that he spun up very quickly, grew very fast. He used Anthropic's Claude using AWS to do most of the coding. And I think this is a great idea, as most developers are using this. So overall, absolutely crazy. We see there's other like massive sales going down in this sort of space. So I feel like that kind of went with the feeding frenzy. OpenAI allegedly paid $3 billion for Windsurf, which is just founded back in 2021, but which is also like quote unquote vibe coding platform, or kind of an AI aided coding platform. So these are very popular right now. You can see Wix. I would imagine Squarespace is going to build something or have some sort of acquisition. These website builders also want to have like a software angle to them. So I think this is really interesting. We're going to see a lot more of these. The space is hot. And yeah, I mean, big kudos to everyone over on the Base44 team. Excited to see where they go from here.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a review wherever you are listening. We really appreciate those. And be sure to check out the AI Hustle School community as well if you're looking to find ways to make money using AI or grow your business. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.